Hello, Emily Howland musicians. It's me, Mr. Gessler. Welcome back to the Red Studio. I'm excited to share with you our second video about Chrome Music Lab. Last time, you may remember, we learned how to do rhythms in Chrome Music Lab with 1, 2, and 0 sounds on a beat. Today, we're going to be talking about melody in Chrome Music Lab, which is the high and the low pitches that make up a song. If you haven't seen that first video yet, I would suggest you watch that one first before you watch this one, because it'll help this one make more sense for you. You can find the link for that in the comments below, or you can subscribe to this channel and you'll have all my videos available to you. So we're going to go to a web browser. We're going to type in Chrome Music Lab. It looks like my computer already knows that I'm coming. So I'm going to go to Chrome Music Lab and I'm going to find a bunch of different options here. These are all different elements of music that you can explore. This is the one we want. It's called Songmaker, same one we used last time. Now you may remember last time that we discussed the up and down lines that told us about the rhythm, how long and short each sound was going to be. Today we're going to be talking about the lines that go across the screen from left to right. Now there are a lot of lines going across the screen from left to right. Particularly we want to focus on this thick blue line in the middle and this gray line at the bottom. Both of those lines tell us where do is, and you may remember that do is the very beginning of our scale, a very good place to start. So let's start there. I'm going to keep things simple and I'm going to put one sound on each beat, but I'm going to go right up the scale, one note after another. And I'm going to slow my tempo down to 100 so that we can hear clearly what's going on here. Let's give it a listen. That's a very familiar sound. That's a major scale. You can play that on almost any instrument. In fact, you might remember this one from the classroom. By the way, the colors of the notes in Chrome Music Lab are chosen on purpose. You remember Boomwhackers? Not only do the pitches match, but the colors match as well. And the handbells too. Although the colors are a little different for the handbells, they're very close. So when we write a melody, we can choose any of these notes and mix them up however we like to. Sometimes, though, having that many options makes it hard. So I want to limit our options a little bit to help us understand better. I'm going to start by just making one line across the whole screen on do. So right above that thick middle blue line, I'm going to fill in every single note across the whole screen. This is not going to be a very exciting sound. This is just a bunch of eighth notes right now. It's just a bunch of TT. It sounds like this. Not much fun. So I'm going to start with just this big white boxed area. This is our first measure. And I'm going to change the rhythm a little bit. I'm going to keep 1, 2, 3, and delete the fourth one. And again, 1, 2, 3, and delete the fourth one. So now we have this rhythm in measure 1. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta. And then the next measure is this whole gray boxed area. I'm going to leave that just the way it is with two sounds on each beat. Ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti. Did you ever notice that most things in life can be split down the middle, and the right side and the left side would be almost exactly the same? Even you, if you split yourself down the middle, your right side and your left side are almost exactly the same. If you split your phone down the middle, the right side and the left side are almost exactly the same. If I split this cup of water in the middle, it would spill everywhere, but the left and the right side would be about the same. We can call this balance, and when we write a song with a little bit of balance, it's pleasing to our ears. We kind of like balance as humans. We like things to be sort of even. Have you ever drawn a picture of a house? Usually when we draw pictures of houses, the left side and the right side are at least similar, if not identical. We just kind of like balance. And this comes in music too. So we already have a certain rhythm in measure 1. We're going to do the exact same rhythm in measure 3 to give the song a sense of balance. So starting in just this white box, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, delete, 1, 2, 3, delete. And now measure 1 and measure 3 are identical. So right now, measure 2 and measure 4 are identical as well. That's a lot of balance. And in fact, if it's too balanced or if it's too similar, it just starts to sound boring after a while. So in the last measure, I'm just going to take off the very last note and change things up a little bit. So right now, our rhythm sounds like this. Ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ta. Good, this is a foundation for us to work with. So now that we have the rhythm established, I'm going to start moving some of these notes high and low to create a melody. And when we're writing a melody, it's good not to jump around too much. It's good to take mostly small steps, maybe a couple of big steps. Bring some variety, that's okay. So I'm going to leave these first 3 notes exactly where they are. I'm going to move these 3 notes up to re, which is this note right here, and I'm going to get rid of those. So now the rhythm is exactly the same, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, but we're going to a higher pitch. I can move all of these notes to mi and all of these notes to fa, but that starts to get a little bit old after a while. Okay, what if instead we start to move these notes a lot here? So I'm going to move this one to here, I'm going to move this one up here, I'm going to bring this one all the way back to do. So we made a small step from do to re, and then small steps, mi, fa, sol. Then we made a big jump down to do. That makes for an interesting sound. We don't want to do that too much, but a couple of big jumps are okay. So now for this measure, I'm going to move all of these back down. I'm going to go 1 step down, 1 step up, and then another step up. And then I'm going to make a big jump down. Oops, I think that's farther than I wanted to go. Let's go there. Okay, let's see what this sounds like. Okay, cool. I like that. Now remember, we're going to make measures 1 and 3 exactly the same. So I'm going to get rid of these notes and add re right here so that it's exactly like measure 1. Should we make measure 4 exactly the same as measure 2? No, I think we should vary this up a little bit. I'm going to take some of it and make it the same. Step, 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 big leap down. But this part I want to make a little bit different. We're going to go up instead of down. Then we're going to go down and land right here on do. It's really nice to start a song on do and end it on do. It gives it a little bit of closure. That's not a rule. You don't have to start on do or end on do. But a lot of folk melodies and a lot of the songs that we sing do start on do and end on do. Let's give it a listen. Okay, I like it. That's kind of catchy. Now let's do 2 more things to spruce this up a little bit. We're going to add some drums. I'm going to put 1 sound on each beat. And just like last time, I'm going to alternate those sounds between the kick and the snare. And then I think I also want to change the sound of the instrument because this marimba is cool, but there are some other options on here that I think would work better. So I'm going to change this to a synthesizer. One more thing I'm going to change. I'm going to add do on beat 1. I'm going to add sol on beat 3. And then I'm going to do the same thing in every measure. Do, sol, do, sol, do, sol. But then here I'm going to add another do right at the end. See what it sounds like. Okay, I like the way that came out. And if I like it, I might want to share it with somebody. So I'm going to go down here to save. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click copy link. And that's going to record all of these letters into my computer. And then I can go to anywhere, really. I can go to an email. I can go to another browser. And I can hold down the control button and the V button at the same time. And that's going to paste the address into my email or into my browser, and I can go exactly to that project. So if you have something you want to share with me, you can copy the link by clicking on save, and you can send it to me by starting an email and then typing Control V, and the address should show up in the email. So now it's your turn. Step 1, fill in do all the way across the screen. Step 2, decide if you want 1 sound on a beat or 2 sounds on a beat, and take out any of the notes that you don't want. You can use the exact same rhythm that I made. In fact, I can put a link to that rhythm in the comments of this video, and then you can just go right there and start changing the notes around. Remember, when you're writing a melody, small steps are the way to go. Lots of small steps and a few big steps. Now, if you're working on a project and the rhythm is a lot longer than you expected it to be and you run out of room, here's what you can do. Go down to Settings and go up to where it says Length. 4 bars is the same thing as 4 measures. Right now, our song is 4 measures long, but you can make that more. You can go up to 8 measures or 8 bars. You can go all the way up to 16 bars. But I would suggest starting small first. If you start with 4 bars, it's going to be a little bit easier to control the ideas. Then as you get some practice, you can start making the songs a little bit longer. All right, that's enough for this week. Next week, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to get 2 melodies to work together and how to create chords in Chrome Music Lab. See you then.